Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. If you cut through the fanfare, this budget was devoid of imagination and substance. It may see Britain through to the end of the Prime Minister's roadmap, but it doesn't come close to addressing the social, economic and climate crisis we face. From this budget, we can assume that the Conservatives intend to increase poverty rather than end it. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation says the Chancellor has created a perfect storm by planning to cut universal credit just as unemployment peaks, while he's continued the Conservatives' hostile environment for disabled people by ignoring legacy benefits. I dread to think of the families who will be forced to use food banks because of his cruelty. And what was there for Durham's NHS workers, teachers, prison staff and the rest of our public sector key workers? A few claps and a pay freeze. That's not levelling up, that's a slap in the face. And I cannot have been the only one shocked by the absence of our NHS and social care from the budget speech. These sectors have been stretched to breaking point, held together only by the determination of those who staff them. Yet, instead of a recovery plan, the Chancellor chose to slash NHS spending with no strategy to tackle the backlog or the mental health crisis. The Chancellor also seems to be clueless when it comes to the challenges facing our communities over the coming years, with a £14 billion cut to public services over this Parliament. In Durham, our council and schools have led the way in their pandemic support for residents, but they simply cannot continue on minimal funding, and the government's council tax rise only serves to deflect blame from Tory cuts while making our local communities pay for the crisis. Durham's public sector is desperate to lead our local recovery. The Chancellor just needs to give him the resources to do so. And finally, his remedy for business seems to be to help them limp along till the end of the pandemic and then leave them at the mercy of the upcoming economic crisis. Durham's high streets were struggling before the pandemic started. Where is our fight back strategy? This Chancellor is no friend of independent businesses that are the heartbeat of our high streets. This budget called for the vision and ambition, one that met the challenges of the pandemic head on with a bold plan for our recovery, a budget that learned the lessons of a decade of austerity, deregulation and the eradication of workers' rights. Instead, the Chancellor came up short yet again. Rather than rebuild, we got a stick and plaster designed to tide us over. Our health services were ignored, our key workers abandoned, our environment forgotten, and our economy failed. Britain needs and deserves better.